hypothetical viewers, and welcome back to Shining Force Sword of Hajya. Here we're on our second battle. We are pursuing the thief Graham, who stole the precious Sword of Hajya. We all jumped off this 30-foot high cliff. Let's actually, basically each character is like 1 square tall, right? So let's say in D&D terms, that's about 5 feet. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 30 feet tall, as I estimated, which is absurd. We leaped straight off of it, and we're not injured at all. So this is a pretty straightforward map. Basically, we're just kind of gonna walk around this river to cross these bridges. Not much to it. We'll try not to overextend and put our squishy mage in too much danger though. There are quite a lot of enemies here. We have some of the same people as last time, and additionally these bats, who much like in other Shining Force games can put you to sleep, which is very annoying. Yeah, I will say this specific map, I actually, now and also as a kid, I never really liked that much because it's like a lot of Shining Force maps, it has a lot of walking where you're just walking down to those bridges. The bridges serve as like little bottlenecks, which makes it slow to get across. The bats can put you asleep, which will actually even more. So it's kind of a map that is a little tedious and boring, in my opinion. It's like, I guess we'll walk over there. There's not a lot to it. Other than that, it's just like some open spaces. It is only the second map, of course, but yeah, I've never been that much into this particular map. The opening map is fine, because, you know, it's like, this is the first one, we're at our castle, you know, we sort of have 2 sides that we have to keep an eye on, but this one's kind of blocked. There are some secret things in this game as well. I think all the Shining Force games have like a couple secret things. So we'll be trying to get those. One of them will be an item we'll find towards the end of Chapter 1, and in addition to that, there are a couple of secret characters that will be later in the game. We actually do not meet Domingo. Oh, oops, I forgot there's still an enemy there. I didn't attack it stupidly. Oh well. Unlike in Shining Force 1 and Shining Force Gaiden 1, we will not meet Domingo, sadly. Maybe he left with a Cypress army, we don't know. Or actually the Guardian army, I guess. Who knows? He's appeared in both. Progressing on forward. Getting across this bridge. There's like a whole pile of enemies on this side too. A huge bat. They can do a lot of damage. Oh, this is super bullshit. Well, we may end up fighting this battle twice. At least we got a counterattack, but counterattacks are really weak. It's super bullshit that it attacked twice. That was ridiculous. Well, now we'll just have to fight this battle over, I guess. Viewers, if any hypothetical viewers ever become actual viewers, they will know that this is par for the course. But this is a nice chance for us to see the camp. We can see that Mayfair is, oh right, he doesn't technically die because he's the main character. Oh, and this game has the talk function, which the original game didn't, so let's say hi to everyone. Main character has nothing to say. When we work together as a team, I believe we can do anything. Aw, that's sweet. Look at my heavy armor. Have you seen a stronger soldier than me? I mean, a lot of the characters end up better than you, so... My noble blood never allows me to lose. Eric is a noble? These little text options here were not present in the original game, which didn't have this talk function, as far as I can remember from my childhood. So I actually did not know that. But I can't hold up my head before dawn. Yeah, I like the action on the front line. Dawn's like a bro, basically. Unlike Jaha and Eric, I can use magic spells, but not very many of them. Apparently Eric feels like he can't quite measure up to his fellow knight. Well, back to the battlefield. At least we got to see that, I guess. But yeah, I feel like I find this map a little tedious and boring, so I tend to overextend and try to rush through it and get people killed. Because it's not that interesting. This is a great battle background, by the way. I realize I say that every chapter, but look at them. They're so nice. Look at the sprite work. Very gorgeous. I think there's was actually the first tactics RPG that I played as well. Because I played this when I was, you know, this game came out in like 94. I think I didn't play it the year it came out. I might have played it like after that. So I was probably like 7 or 8 when I played this the first time. I was pretty young. I didn't play another tactics game until I played Fire Emblem 7. And that, man, I think that was quite a bit later. I'd have to look up the date that it actually came out, I guess, to check, but I feel like that must have been like middle school. Yeah, so even though I have spent a fair amount of my gaming time on tactics games nowadays as an adult, because I play a lot of Fire Emblem games, as a child, you know, this was the very first one I played. Excellent. More MP is always good. Like, honestly, I don't mind my mages getting a bit over-leveled in the early game because that just gives them more MP so they can actually be useful throughout the battle, because that's one big issue they have, obviously. They run out of steam. Okay, let's try crossing the bridge slightly more cautiously this time. Multiple flying enemies, you know, they can surround you quickly. We can lure some of the bats over. I kind of like the little sound effect. This one here. The sound effect for walking. Because it sounds a little... It doesn't sound like footsteps, it sounds like whoop, 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 whoop. It was in the original game as well, so I think I just have nostalgia for that very specific sound effect of Shining Force characters moving. Because the flying characters have the same one. Man. Oh, and he fell asleep. Of course. These bats are really... The bats will make you rage. Like, they just suck. They're awful. So this one too. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's not a spell to cure it. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. You can't really avoid getting hit by them that easily. You know, you gotta fight them. So it's hella. Let's attack these bats, I guess. Eric may very well fly. It's hard to say. It's funny, it doesn't say Dawn is asleep, it said Dawn fell asleep, so I guess they didn't bother putting in multiple text messages. And Luke didn't even get his turn in order to heal Eric, otherwise we could have healed him. Man, I'm playing this on easy mode, as a side note. Like, literally, this is the easiest the game could get. And I'm still losing on the second battle. This is just sad. This is why I don't think there will ever be any actual viewers, only hypothetical ones, because who would watch this? This is just pitiful. And you can go down here and fight this guy, I don't know. Maybe we should go down to the bottom bridge, I don't know. We didn't even really cross it, we just went on like one square. There are a fair amount of enemies compared to the number of characters we have available, so I guess that does kind of contribute here. Maybe that isn't a pot. It has spikes on it in his battle portrait. Whatever it is, it's very weird. I'm gonna have Natasha help us out against this bat because we have a lot less people who can fight it now that Eric died. Oh, well, at least Dawn finally woke up. Luke is also gonna die now. We may need to egress this battle on, like... We may need to level grind on the first mission, because Luke is... He didn't gain a level in the very first battle, and it's really hurting him now. He's having some challenges. Jaha didn't either, but he was a little tanky to start with. I don't understand. The Game Gear games did not have different difficulty levels, so I have no idea what the difference between them is, but I'm like, this is easy? It doesn't feel easy. Maybe I'm just bad at it. That's entirely possible. Maybe I'm like not using the correct strategy here. We may have to egress and res people. Wow. We have 2 characters that are dead. This is like... I'm truly at a loss to find anything to say about the pathetic display going on here. I think I'm actually gonna bend up here. You know what? I'm actually gonna have him use our... God damn it, I meant to use a medical herb and I did not click the button because I accidentally held down the button and pressed wait instead due to my clumsiness. That was just me fat fingering the keyboard. That was my own fault. Well, it's fine. Dawn can get up to level 5 just so we have a completely disproportionately level party. We're off to such a good start here. This fills me with confidence for the rest of this game. There should be a couple levels. This guy has a ranged attack? Does he have blaze? What? I didn't know that. I meant to use a medical herb on him, but I failed to do so. Okay, well, how about a third try at this battle? Why not? And now we're being followed by those little ghosts. Oh, here's a side note. In the original game, you know this little scene where our characters are kind of walking back and forth between the different parts of the camp? That wasn't a thing in the original game. It was just the static image of the camp, and you could move the cursor to select. So that's kind of a fun little addition. This video is like, literally, why would anyone watch this? This is just sad. Let's try and get Luke a level on these goblins so he can be less pathetic when we have to fight the Bash. Yeah, Dawn is now level 5. You can see why Eric feels like he can't hold his head up compared to Dawn, because he's still level 2, and he died from that. So he's like, you know, it hurt his confidence. But of course, because Luke is still level 1, he's also now slow enough that he can't get his started. Y'all, I'm really good at games. You can tell. See, this would be fine if I was at least like funnier, you know, if I had like hilarious commentary to make, but I don't have that either. Indeed, one would have to admit that for me to film the Let's Play is truly pure vanity. That's why all of these videos will probably just stay archived on various hard drives. Just be discovered one day in the distant future by like whatever civilization arises after humanity is gone. According to a childhood friend of mine, the answer is squids. That's legit, by the way. I had a friend in elementary school and middle school who told me one time that he read somewhere, like, this was supposedly like some sort of information, but there was some kind of scientific basis for this that he learned, that hopefully we can get Luke a level now, that after humans, if humans went extinct, the next species that would probably evolve into an intelligent life form would be squids. And even though I was told that more than 20 years ago now, I have never forgotten it because it was such an incredible statement. So one day, the squid people, while they're exploring the harsh environment of the land, you know, because for us, the ocean is the dangerous environment, and then there'll be the land, I guess. They'll find this treasure trove of videos and be like, the fuck was up with humans? Why did was this what they did with their time? Little will they know, it wasn't most humans, it was just me. Most people who made Let's Plays were better at it. Actually, you know what's something pretty incredible? So, the backstory here is that I've been getting really into Smash Bros lately. I'm not that good at that either, honestly, but it was pretty fun anyway. And I was watching some videos from some channels that do Smash Bros videos, you know, about the different characters. And one of them, in their intro to talking about Inkling, because it was like a video of like the different, you know, characters. I can't remember. I watched a bunch of them recently. It was like some aspect of all the characters and comparing them. And they mentioned in their intro to Inkling that like that apparently, and I didn't know this because I never played Splatoon, so I knew of Splatoon. It's like, oh, you're like little squid children and you play paintball, and that's the game. It's like a, a team game. That's all I knew about it. But according to the intro of this video, apparently the backstory of Splatoon is that it takes place in like a post-apocalyptic world where humans are gone and the Splatoon kids have evolved from squids. So I was like, I never knew that. I guess I still don't know whether that is actually true. That's what dude in a Smash Bros video said, but sure, it works as a backstory for them, I guess. I don't know what their backstory officially is. But this like blew my mind because I was like, oh my god, childhood friends theory of like the future of like the planet. Some other human being in this world thought the same thing and made a video game based on that. So in the world of Splatoon is the future proposed by the guy I knew in elementary school, where squids have evolved to take over the planet. Yeah, so Natasha will get Blaze level 4 eventually. She will also get Freeze, but not get level 4. That actually mattered a lot in the original Game Gear game because, as I've mentioned several thousand times in these videos, because it's how much is there to say really about this game? It's a tactics game. I'm fighting a battle. What is there to say? But in the original version of this game, God damn it, fucking bats. I hate these bats. But Freeze was actually it was bugged, and Freeze level 3 did the same damage as Freeze level 4 while still having an hour's sleep. Oh great, the same range. So it was insanely broken, and the fact that Natasha and Blaze didn't have this bug, it worked as intended. So the fact that, and it doesn't do as much damage as Freeze. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember whether it didn't have the bug, or whether it was just that Blaze never did as much damage to begin with, so the bug did not matter. Because Freeze just did a lot more damage. So that meant that Natasha was much weaker than our wizard who actually gets Freeze level 4, because she didn't have the Freeze level 3, because she didn't have the broken spell. But in this remake, I believe that bug has actually been fixed. So, it doesn't matter as much. And mages in general, because of that, are just not as good. However, that does mean that, unlike in the original game where, the thing is enemies get Freeze too, right? So in the original game, there were a couple levels where there's an enemy with Freeze level 3, and they were very difficult to actually... It was very difficult to kill that enemy without getting at least one member of your force killed, because the spell has really high range. So it was very hard to get close enough to them to attack without them being close enough to target a massive amount of your party. So now we won't have to deal with that. So it's like, upsides and downsides. But yeah, man, the other mage will get his name May, and in the original game, because she got access to Freeze 3, she was absurdly powerful. She was like hands down the most powerful member of the Shining Force, because in that game, Freeze level 3 and Blaze level 3, all the level 3 spells had a 3x3 range, and Freeze level 3 would routinely deal between 40 and 50 damage. So just think about that. That much damage with that much range. Let's try out Freeze level 3. Let's do it. The Dragoonu can use fire, so maybe it's weak to ice. Very nice. Good job, Natasha. But yeah, just think about what an insane, absolutely insane damage range that is. With that sheer amount of damage. It was nuts. So she basically was by far the strongest character. You just kind of put her in there and just shred bosses, important enemies, everything. It was insane. That's not a thing in this game anymore, sadly. But, it was a bug. It wasn't supposed to be like that, even though it was very fun. It did make certain, I think there's like two particular, if I remember correctly, there's like two particular levels that were really hard because of enemies with Freeze 3, and how they were positioned. So, at least you kind of fix that. Oh, Ben finally woke up. That's nice. The other thing is, and this is in Shining Force Gaiden 1, and I never played this as a kid, so I don't know if this is just Gaiden was always like that, or if this is specifically an artifact of the remake. I don't know. The level 3 spells had the 2x2 range, the little plus sign shape, that we saw in Shining Force 1 and 2. So I don't know if that will also be true of this game. Like, that was something that was a specific change made for the remake, versus that was always true in Gaiden 1 and they had changed it in Gaiden 2. But we'll find out. If that is a change that was made, I actually think it nerfs wizards unnecessarily because, yeah, there's a point in the game when the level 3 spells are decent, but your melee fighters outdamage them very quickly. And the only thing the spells really have to kind of make up for that is the fact that they have high range. So it's like, yeah, you can't do very much damage, but you can basically do chip damage on a large area, so you can soften everyone up for your melee fighters. So they still have a point. Whereas, oh nice, Luke got the upgraded heal. When you instead have, like, they only do damage in this fairly restricted area, like this 2x2 area, and it's also not very much damage, and it's harder to catch multiple enemies because with the 3x3 area, you have a much better ability to hit multiple enemies. With 2x2, they kind of have to be arranged fairly specifically. I think it sort of makes mages already kind of fell off in the late game, even in the first Shining Force, and I feel like this change really hurts them more than it needs to. Like, they weren't broken. the bug that they suffered from broke them, obviously. Like, it makes total sense that they fixed the freeze bug so that it does the correct amount of damage, but also restricting the range would just make it too weak. Like, at that point, it's not competitive anymore as an option for the character to use. But that's just my 2 cents. I still will use the mages through the entire game as I have in all the others, just because I really enjoy using mages. I just like casting spells. I think their outfits are cool. I'm just a fan. I think this should wrap us up here. This video's only been about 20 minutes. I want to point out, I restarted this battle. This is try number 3 at this battle, and yet we still finished it in under time. So this battle is incredibly short, but it sure is annoying. Well done, everybody, but we've lost the thief. We must retrieve the Sword of Hajya no matter what. Mayfair apparently was just directing the battle from on top of that cliff. The Thames village is just ahead. We can gather information there. The Thames village, very British. So this is Thames village. We'll meet a new party member here as well. Let's question the villagers. We may find a clue to the thief's whereabouts. Ben, come with me. We still have 10 minutes on this video, so let's just go through this cutscene. Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Sure, come in. We have some great merchandise. This is the shopkeeper. It's an amazing, like, grin. Also has a red nose. Is this just like a weird aesthetic choice, or are they all supposed to be hammered? Is this like just... No thanks, we'll come again. Thanks for stopping by. Mayfair did not ask any of her questions. Well, that was interesting. Was it? Let's ask someone else. You didn't ask anything. That wasn't very interesting at all. There's nobody here. Something strange going on with this town. Also, none of the buildings have doors, as a side note. I don't see anyone. Oh, look at this little fields, like farm fields to the side of the village there. That's a nice graphical design. There's no one here either. This is strange. This is our new friend. He's sort of creeping out. Hey, wait! Why are you running away? I'll be placing the villagers' lives in danger if I talk to you. This is Slade. You might remember that in Shining Force 2, Slade is the name of the, like, rat thief dude that we meet. I don't know why Shining Force just reuses names sometimes, but the characters appear to have nothing to do with each other. This guy is a healer, and in personality has no connection to Slade. Have Iron soldiers invaded your village? Please, I must go. The villagers are being held captive. That's why we don't see anyone. Mayfair's pretty sharp. She figured this out straight away. They'll release the villagers in exchange for the Sword of Hajya. Listen, do you honestly believe they'll keep their promise? It's the only chance I have to save them. There's another way. Join us and together we can defeat them. Ben just nods. He's like, that's right. I believe that together we can save my people. I'll join with you in this worthy cause. And with that, Slade the Priest joins the Shining Force. I feel like he has competitive attack stat for like part of the game, but he usually doesn't stay to the final party because he's not like that great. Look, there's Graham with the Sword of Hajya. He's heading for the Albert Cliffs. Let's go. Graham will also join the party eventually. I usually keep him to the end of the game because I do like having archers and bow knights. They're some of my faves. So let's talk to our new character. See what he has to say. I'm too old to stand at the front line, but I'll be right behind you if you need me. Is he supposed to be old? He actually doesn't look particularly. So he has heal 2 already, so now we have a dedicated healer in addition to Luke, which is nice. Yeah, lots of level 3s, a couple of 4s, one level 5. So most people are at level 3 or 4, and then Dawn is level 5, almost level 6. She's very strong, and she has a high move, so she tends to get like a lot of time. Yeah, so we will actually still 5 minutes left in this. I'm trying to do them half an hour each video, so let's start the battle, and then next time we can leap into it post cutscene at the base of those mountains. Yeah, lies Albert Cliffs. Let's hurry. But Cyprus army has been seen in Thames. Look, here comes the traitor with the Cyprus army chasing him. Sort of. We're more like following him. I thought there was more of a cutscene here, but maybe I'm thinking of the next battle. Yeah, well, let's, here's our new buddy. He has the Bronze Rod. For now, an attack of 13 is actually pretty competitive with you. You know, it's not as good as our dedicated attackers, but it's not abysmal. You know, it's more than Tasha, but, you know, he's a healer, so he won't keep up forever. This is basically one of Shining Force's classic. It's a huge outdoor map and you just have to walk across it. And as usual, it looks very nice aesthetically. The sprite work is very good and all, but it sure is enormous and time-consuming. So you have more scavengers, more Drago newts. The dwarf is now a standard enemy. We'll probably just walk straight up, honestly. It'll take a while to go through the grass or the forest, but maybe we'll go around. That'll take ages too, though. Got more bats. And our boss for level is the Ion Knight, who has boost. I don't remember them having boost in the original game, so I wonder if that was also added to the remake, like give it a little more action. But in any case, thank you for watching, hypothetical viewers. We have made a little more progress on our quest to get back the Sword of Hajya and made a new friend. And in this episode, mostly, we fought the same battle 3 times in a row because I kept failing at it, which bodes so well for the rest of this playthrough. I swear I wasn't that bad at this game as a kid. I think I'm just too impatient as an adult. I like move my characters forward way too fast and get overwhelmed because I'm like, I want to finish the level. Thank you for watching it anyway, if indeed anyone ever does so. And get excited for next time when we'll try out our new friend Slade's abilities and get one step closer to recruiting Graham, who will be an important member of the Force. Look forward to all of that on the next episode of Shining Force Sword of Hajya.